player-by-player comparison of the US men's national team and Ecuador. And look, this video will not be biased too, because our producer is Ecuadorian, I'm Brazilian American, so we're going to be very fair on our analysis. I'm also going to put the US men's national team starting lineup that I believe is the best, and this is a senior squad comparison, and the Ecuadorian best starting lineup that me and Dustin built together, mostly from Dustin, so give him a shout out at the comment section down below. If you guys don't know, Ecuador is currently in 3rd place at the South American qualifiers, at the CONMEBOL qualifiers, and they're a pretty young emerging team right now, a lot of young prospects, so this is a great comparison to see how the United States compares to an emerging South American team. I didn't want to do Brazil because we know Brazil as a starting level for the senior squad is much better right now, but it's very interesting to compare against a young South American team. So let's do a player-by-player comparison, and at the very end, you give us our score and you let me know if you agree with our opinion. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Don't forget one thing, we're going to do a U23 US men's national team La Tri comparison because you guys requested. We're currently talking to some Mexican sources to do the La Tri squad, and we're doing the US men's national team squad, so that'll be a great episode. But that's just me getting off topic. Wait for that one. Make sure to comment down below your thoughts on this video. Let's get started with the episode. Alright, before I start the goalkeeper position, I just want to make one thing clear. Both teams are going with a 4-3-3 system for both teams. Now let's go to the goalkeeper. Alright, so for the US men's national team, the goalkeeper is Zach Steffen. Yes, I couldn't choose anyone else. He's our best keeper right now. He is benched at Manchester City because Ederson, that's very heavy competition, but he's brilliant, and when he gets minutes in Manchester City, he shows how good he is. Pepe Guardiola said he could even challenge Ederson for a starting position. So I'm going with Zach Steffen. Now for Ecuador, I'm going to go with Alejandro Dominguez from Vélez Sarsfield, the veteran goalkeeper. Now, he hasn't been starting for Vélez Sarsfield just like Zach Steffen, but he's a very reliable goalkeeper and has been very good for the national team too. So who wins this first matchup? Zach Steffen or Dominguez? And I'm going with Zach Steffen. That's 1-0 United States. 1-0 right there. Zach Steffen is younger, more agile, even better under the post, more informed when he plays. He's just a better goalkeeper overall when compared to Dominguez. Also, Dominguez is past his prime at this point, even though goalkeepers do prime. It lasts longer, but I'm going with Zach Steffen. 1-0 America right now. Let's go to the next position. Alright, now we're going to go to fullbacks. And for the US men's national team, I have to pick for the right back position. The first one we're going to start with, Serginho Dest. He's very gifted offensively. He starts for Barcelona. And yes, he does struggle on the defensive end, but that's something we can deal with. And he's not a complete liability. Plus, he's versatile. He can play as a left back, a right back. He's outstanding. Now, for Ecuador, I'm going to go with Angelo Preciado, the 22-year-old that plays for Genk at Belgium. Yes, the same team Mark McKenzie plays for. He's a very talented right back, very good on the offensive end, showed all his talents while playing for Independiente del Valle at Ecuador. Recently he moved to Genk and will be playing there with Mark McKenzie as a right back. He has been starting. Now, who would I pick for this one? And I have to go for Serginho Dest for this one. So 2-0 United States already. Serginho Dest is more talented. He's playing in a tougher league, on a better team, more gifted, but it's a pretty good matchup. But Serginho Dest, 2-0 United States. Let's go to the left back position. Okay, so left back now. For the United States men's national team, I have to go with Robinson as our left back. And he is very good and has been having an outstanding season for Fulham at the Premier League. However, as much trouble as he causes to other teams' defense when he goes to offense, he causes a lot of trouble for his team on the defensive end. He has been a liability on defense. So that's the problem with Robinson right now. Now for Ecuador, the left back that I choose is Pervis Estupiñán. Yes, and he is one fantastic left back. He's firm on defense and very dangerous on offense. Has pace. He's fantastic for Villarreal and one of the best left backs in the league, if not the best one. Even Barcelona wanted to sign him at one point. So now, who would I choose between those two? I have to give a point to Ecuador. 2-1 United States, so Ecuador just got a point here. Pervis Estupiñán is better than Robinson, more reliable on defense, and even better on offense in my personal opinion. Alright, now we gotta go to the center back position. So the first one I'm gonna choose for the US men's national team is John Brooks. And yes, he's probably our best center back at this point. Right now, he's the best center back. He's a veteran, reliable for Wolfsburg. He is a little bit shaky at times. I don't trust him 100%. I don't think he should be our best center back in the future, but he's our best one right now, and I'm going with him. Now for Ecuador, I go with Arboleda from São Paulo in Brazil. I believe they're, at the time of recording, São Paulo's in 2nd place and they have one of the best defenses in the league. And a lot of it is due to Arboleda. Very good at headers, very good on the floor, fantastic defender for Ecuador in my opinion. So who wins this one? In my personal opinion, Ecuador. 2-2 right now. Arboleda is better than John Brooks in my personal opinion. He's a much better defender in the air. He's pretty good at tackles, even the low tackles, better than John Brooks. And he looks a little better in the field than John Brooks, to be honest. Every time he's playing, he's less shaky. I can trust him more. So yeah, so far 2-2. Let's go to the next center forward position. Alright, so for the US men's national team, the other defender I went on, I was in between Mark McKenzie and Matt Miazga, but I picked Mark McKenzie, the new signing from Genk. I honestly believe he's a better defender than Matt Miazga at this point, more potential too. Now, for Ecuador, I go with Javier Arreaga from the Seattle Sounders, so you guys might be familiar with him from the MLS. Very good defender, very reliable veteran from the Seattle Sounders. Now, which one of these two would I pick? I don't even need to justify much of my vote on this one. I'm going with Mark McKenzie, so 3-2 United States. And the reason for that is, I've been saying, to me, Mark McKenzie last season was the best defender in the MLS. So if I picked anyone else besides him on this one, if there's two MLS players being compared, I would just be hypocritical. So I'm picking Mark McKenzie for this one. 3-2 United States. Let's move to the midfield now. Hi, Pedro Parker here. Guys, make sure to hit that like button so we can continue this series. I know you guys enjoy it. Hit the like button, share it. We're going to do also an L3 comparison for the U23. So do not miss it, okay? All right, let me bring Mr. Tactful back so he can do the midfield. All right, so now with the midfield, let's start with the CDM, the defensive midfielder. And for the United States, I picked Tyler Adams, which likely will even be our captain. He's very versatile, very good on defense, does lack a little bit on offense. He's okay on offense, presses a lot, has a lot of energy, can play as a right wing back, can play as a right mid. But I'm going for him as a CDM, and I think versatility and defense are his strengths. Now for Ecuador, I'm going to go with Carlos Gruezo that plays for Augsburg. Very good, very, very good defensive midfielder, and you guys might remember him from his MLS days. He's a very skilled, technical, gifted midfielder that starts for Augsburg right now and has been performing very well in the Bundesliga. He was also very good during his time with FC Dallas. Now, who do I pick for this one? I do pick Tyler Adams. I think Tyler Adams is already better than him, even though Tyler Adams has not locked in the starting position. He's playing a much tougher team than Augsburg. I think he's better right now, and Tyler Adams has a higher ceiling. He is more technical. Gruezo is more technical than Tyler Adams. Yes, that is true. But I think for the CDM role, Tyler Adams is a much better player, especially because that role, what you want is short passes and good defense, and Tyler Adams got both along with versatility. Tyler Adams, point United States, 4-2 for America right now. Now, the central midfield position, and I'm going to go with the box-to-box midfielders, and man, do I love this one. This matchup is fantastic. For the United States, I'm going to go with Weston McKennie, which this season, he's our best player right now because Pulisic hasn't been the best and also dealing with injuries. Weston McKennie's the best American abroad, best American player in the world right now, to be honest. And he's been fantastic. He's scoring goals. He has 4 goals for Juve this season, 2 assists. He's the midfielder that has contributed the most. So Weston McKennie is our pick for box-to-box. Now for Ecuador, I'm going to pick the young prospect that I believe he just signed with Brighton. We made a video about him. He was going to go to Manchester United and go. And that's Moises Caicedo, and what a player he is. I believe he's currently 19 right now. Fantastic on the defensive end, very dangerous on offense, very good at long shots, very good at passing, brilliant player, fast, has pace, reminds a lot of the times of a little bit of Conte. Just a great player, a little bit of Valverde too, a mix. We talked about that in the video. But if I had to choose one between these two players, I would go Weston McKennie. He's been reliable for Juventus, a top team in the world. Moises Caicedo still has to prove himself in Europe. Maybe over the years, Moises Caicedo will be a better player than Weston McKennie, or not. But right now, no doubt, Weston McKennie, point United States, and I believe it's 5-2 right now. Wow. That's a big lead. Let's hope the United States don't blow it at the rest of the video. Alright, so now we're going to go also to the central midfield position, but more of an attacking player for both teams, and that will be Gio Reyna for the United States. And Gio Reyna has been nothing but outstanding for Borussia Dortmund this season. It's his very first season. He's breaking out, but he's been amazing. At his age, do what he does. He distributes the game well, can play as a winger, play central, set pieces. He's amazing. I'm not going to get too much into it. You guys can watch our video on Gio Reyna where I explain more about him, the son of Claudio Reyna. So now who do I pick for Ecuador? Angel Mena. He's a great veteran for Club Leon at Liga MX. He gets goals, assists, great attacking midfielder, maybe a little bit past his prime, who knows. However, if I had to choose one, it has to be Gio Reyna for this position. Another point for the United States. As good as Mena is, he's slightly past his prime right now, while Reyna is emerging and being affected in a tougher league and playing for a better team. Reyna not only has more potential, but he's already better than Mena ever was. So yeah, 6-2 United States. Now let's move to the wingers. Alright, so the right winger position is the first one I'm going to go with, and I was torn in between putting Yunus Musa, maybe even Jordan Morris there, even though it's not his main position in my opinion, but I'm going to go with Timothy Weah as our right winger. I'd like to see Timothy Weah start there. He's very young, and I know he hasn't established himself as a starter of the league, but when he's in, he's been very effective for them. Now, as a right winger for Ecuador, I'm going to go with Gonzalo Plata. He's a right inverted winger. He's a lefty, very skilled, lots of flair, fantastic player for Sporting from Liga NOS at Portugal. We also made a video covering him if you guys want to check that out. Now, who wins this one? In my opinion, Gonzalo Plata. I think Gonzalo Plata not only has a little bit more potential than Tim Weah if he can keep his head in the right place. Platita is better than Tim Weah. He has more potential, and I think he's better right now, more effective, gets more minutes. I'm going for Gonzalo Plata. Point Ecuador, 6-3, I believe, right now. Now let's go to the left wing position, and left wing is always an easy one for the United States, unless they face a team like Brazil. Alright, so for the US men's national team, the left winger position is taken by Christian Pulisic. He is probably our best player. I mean, I know Weston McKennie's having a better season, I did mention that, but Christian Pulisic might be still our best player. When in form and healthy, he's one of the best wingers in the world. I don't have to talk much about him. You guys know Christian Pulisic. Now for Ecuador, I have to pick the veteran Ibarra that plays from Atlas at Liga MX. He was very good during his time in America years too, when he played at Liga MX for the America team, Club America. Now, he's a little past his prime, so this is an easy pick. Christian Pulisic. I don't have to justify this one. I don't think any Ecuadorian will argue with this. So Christian Pulisic, 7-3 for the United States. Now let's go to the center forward position, and then I'll talk about the benches. And, you know, maybe I'll talk about the coaches too. Do you guys want me to talk about Berhalter? Alright, so US men's national team center forward. This was hard. I'm going to go with Josh Sargent. Well, for this position, I don't even know where to start. It could have been Sargent, DK, Soto, Zardes, even Hoppy that's emerging. Who knows? But I'm going to still stick with Sargent despite the lack of goals. I do like his technical abilities, his hold-up game, and his great playmaking ability as a center forward. Now for Ecuador, I'm going to pick Estrada as the center forward. He's got size, he's getting close to his prime, he seems to be better for Ecuador. Did not seem to have the best season at Liga MX with 19 games and only scored 5 goals for Toluca at the time of this recording. Alright, so between these two players, who would I pick right now? Who's better right now as a center forward? I have to go with Estrada, to be honest. At this point, I think Sargent might be better in the very near future, or another US men's national team player, but right now Estrada is better. Point Ecuador, so 7-4 I believe. Despite both struggling to score, Estrada is a better player right now, and I would pick Sargent only if I was looking into technical abilities. I think Estrada could end up in Europe very soon also. Now Sargent, he's already there, but he's been struggling. But I'm going to go with Estrada for this one. And he has a much better athletic ability when compared to Sargent, the Ecuadorian. Now let's look at both benches, and maybe I'll look at the coaches too, if I feel like it. Alright, so for the US men's national team bench, I'm going to list the name of the players, and then I'll talk about them right after. So for the United States, I picked Matt Miazga as our center back for the defense, Reggie Cannon as a fullback, Johnny Cardoso and Brendan Harrison for the midfield, along with Yunus Musa. And up top, I'm actually going to be a little biased in Orlando City. I'm going to pick Daryl DK as our backup center forward. Now for Ecuador, who are the bench players? Well, the first one is Palacios from LAFC. Then Antonio Valencia, the fullback, the veteran. Cifuentes from LAFC also. Franco that plays in the Brazilian League for Atlético Mineiro. Valencia, Ener Valencia that plays for Fenerbahce at the Turkish League. And Leo Campana that we also made a video about him. Both benches are very balanced. However, the United States does have a slightly younger bench and less proven when compared to Ecuador. But let's dive in. Matt Miazga has locked in as a starter for Anderlecht, and he's the oldest player at the US men's national team bench at age 25. Reggie Cannon has locked in the star position at Liga NOS for Boa Vista. However, it's a weaker league and he's still 22. Johnny Cardoso still struggles to get minutes for Internacional at age 18. Brendan Harrison had major success at the MLS, but now he just arrived at RB Salzburg and has a lot to prove and live up to the expectations. Yunus Musa is having a lot of ups and downs this season, and now, at last, DK, also very young, still has to prove himself, lacks technical abilities, but when it comes to athletic ability, he is fantastic. We made a video about Daryl DK, so you guys can check that out too. Now for the Ecuador bench, Palacios is a great left back for LAFC. Antonio Valencia is a veteran, he's fantastic, and he's not being called up, but I believe he should be considered due to his experience and quality. Cifuentes for LAFC, well, you guys know, key player, he's young too, has lots to prove, but he is fantastic, and he showcased his talent this season. Franco has been playing for Atlético Mineiro at Brazil under Sampaoli and has been getting minutes, and he's not a lock starter, but he plays a key role. Ener Valencia, well, he's a fantastic center forward, veteran, experience, currently plays at Fenerbahce at the Turkish League. He's a little past his prime, but he's still not too bad. He's doing a little bad there, but he's still not a bad player. And Campana, we made a video so you can check out more. He plays for Famalicão at Liga NOS. He's a fantastic center forward, young. So for the bench, I give Ecuador a small advantage. So 7-5 United States the total score. I'm going to go talk about the two managers now real quickly just to add on, but 7-5 for America, this is very impressive actually. Alright, so managers. You have Gustavo Alfaro for Ecuador and Greg Berhalter for the US men's national team. I'm going to have to go with Gustavo Alfaro. This is an easier one. I don't like Greg Berhalter honestly as a coach. Very good at recruiting. Gustavo Alfaro is proven at Boca Juniors, is doing a fantastic job with Ecuador where they face tougher competition at the CONMEBOL. Point for Ecuador right here. So if we include managers, it's 7-6 for the United States. Very balanced, but United States do win here, which is very impressive in my opinion. Ecuador is an emerging South American team. It proves that the United States could possibly fight for qualification if they played in the South American qualifiers. So that is very good. It shows how the United States are progressing. The team's very young, and I like this. So guys, don't forget that we will make a video of the U23 US men's national team versus La Tri, the U23, to see how we compare with emerging talents. I want to thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed these videos, comment down below your thoughts on this video, if you guys agree with me or not. Thank you very much for watching, our American viewers, Ecuadorian viewers, all of our viewers. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day.